Anime is about to change forever, and it's because of Chainsaw Man. Good morning, pizza people. It's Time Pizza back today in another video, and today it's a little bit of a different video, and I wanted to talk about how Chainsaw Man will be affecting anime in the coming year, right? And a large part of me wanting to make this video is because, you know, I haven't made a Chainsaw Man video in a while, plus the Chainsaw Man anime I believe is still dropping this year, and even without like the anime dropped, the manga is still putting up like numbers that were like rivaling those of like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero, all without an anime out. And I think that's honestly one of those things where you can just look at it and see that like the potential within Chainsaw Man to change anime forever, not only from how it's set up, but from how it's like really different than like any other shonen out there. And it could possibly be one of the biggest animes of all time, just based off the first part getting animated alone. Like, first off, I really think that when Chainsaw Man drops, right, is that it's gonna have an effect even similar to what Demon Slayer had, but like bigger, because Chainsaw Man isn't just a shonen, right? You can even argue that it has seinen elements, and it draws in both fans of like those respective genres, and they both like just love the series that Chainsaw Man is, and how instead of going the typical shonen route of the way it set up its protagonist to be like this heroic guy who wants to help out somebody even if he's a small guy in his own ways, and instead Chainsaw Man gives us a protagonist that's honestly a loser like a lot of the readers are, and gives them somebody who is an incel, somebody who just wants cheeks, somebody who's just like honestly a simp in every aspect of the word if it means that they're gonna get cheeks in the end. And I think like the fact that we're finally getting a mainstream shonen protagonist that will like be that type of simp will draw in one of the most like abrasive and rabid fan bases to this manga, right? Because like, you know, people don't just like characters that they think look cool, right? They like characters that remind them of themselves. And to see someone like Denji, right, a guy who is at the most down out of his luck, right, be a badass and just like randomly pull out chainsaws out of his hand and just start murdering people and murdering demons and all that, that I think people will especially relate to that one scene near the end of the manga. No spoilers, but it's a scene where Denji is looking at the TV and seeing people root for him to be the hero that he wants to be, and he starts breaking down and crying because he's like, yo, I just want the clout. I just want the cheeks that come with it. I just want all of that. And it's like one of those things where I feel like a lot of viewers are going to look at that. They're going to see Denji break down and cry at the TV after seeing the clout he's going to get and be like, wow, he's just like me. Because after Denji has that scene, right, he finally straight up says, I want to be Chainsaw Man for my selfish reasons and not for anybody else's. And I think that's honestly one of those scenes that like a lot of people will be drawn to, because a lot of people need that hope, and it's a realistic hope, right? Because a lot of people don't do things until they see they're gaining something out of it, right? I feel like the whole like stereotype of how a lot of shonen main characters, they do it because they just want to help people and just want to, you know, be a good guy in the world. I feel like a lot of that is BS, right? And to finally have someone that's selfish, muddy, and kind of grimy, Denji is the, if not one of the most like realistic characters to ever be in like anime and manga of all time, right? Because you can't tell me like you wouldn't like want to be a superhero purely for the clout. Like, especially if you look at the mainstream world today, right? A lot of things are fueled because people want accolades. People want to be appreciated for their efforts. Being on Instagram, being on Twitter, being on any social media, you're just trying to get likes and trying to get people to care about whatever opinion you want to put out that day. And you probably wouldn't do it if you were just getting like dead and no interaction. Like, if nobody was responding to you, would you really still be posting? No, you wouldn't. And I think the fact that we finally have an anime that can relate to the little guy that not only wants to be noticed and wants to help people, but to the little guy that wants to, you know, oil and enjoy his riches. To really just end off, imagine how, like, with the way that Chainsaw Man is set up, that it's gonna affect a lot of animes in the future, right? Because you know how My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man are direct descendants of what Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were at one point, with them being the big three. Like, just imagine how Chainsaw Man is specifically gonna affect like mangakas of the future generations that are gonna make animes based off of like what they see in Chainsaw Man, based off of the genre that they may get put on to due to seeing it in Chainsaw Man for the first time, and how they're gonna make a lot more relatable, a lot more loser protagonists, a lot more protagonists that really are selfish and really want it. And I think it's gonna allow for a lot more interesting stories instead of just us always getting the underdog, but like, let's get the underdog that's an actual degenerate, you know what I mean? And I mean that in the best way possible. But pizza people, let me know how you feel about Chainsaw Man and how you think it's gonna affect the anime in the comment section below. Until next time, my name is Time Pizza, and I will see you pizza people later. Peace.